those of us who observe the Indian Army from the outside who are very interested to understand how decisions are taken, how coordination is done. And from that perspective, I wanted to ask you about the importance of political leadership in military affairs. What kind of a role does, we keep hearing about things like a political will, a political backing to the armed forces and the military. So I wanted to ask you what kind of a role and what is the importance of political leadership in military affairs?
So, this is a very important question, and it is often framed in different ways. So, you talked about, for example, political backing of the military, and there are questions raised that has the political leadership in the past, backed the Indian military. Uh, I will speak, from my own experience of 40 years in the army. So I'm not going back to 1962 and those areas. And in my 40 years, I do not recall any instance where the political leadership failed to back the armed forces. So that the army is doing something and we are not going to back you up and that you are on your own. I don't recall any instance. For example, I think one of our strongest responses to Chinese action was in 1986, which was the Wangdong incident. And that time, the army responded very forcefully. The political leadership backed the decisions. I know initially there were some questions about will this lead to some kind of conflict with China? But thereafter, whatever the army did was complete backing by the political leadership. And in fact, the Wangdong incident carried on almost for 1 year, similar to what we are seeing in the dark. I think the crucial question we should ask is whether there are clear political directions to the military from the leadership. And because see, ultimately, all wars, all military operations have a political objective. So ultimately, the political aim is what decides how the military is going to operate. And here, I think you could say that the current leadership that we have, political leadership, I think is fairly unambiguous and has greater clarity in its political aims regarding what our national security objectives should be. So they have been quite clear. They have been very articulate in how they look at national security. I think they also have a greater risk-taking appetite than we have seen, in the past. And so, if there are clear directions to the military, I think the military knows exactly what it's to do, how it is to operate. So, as I said, it's not as if the army has not been, or the military has not been backed by the political leadership in the past. What we are seeing now is greater clarity on national security objectives.
Namaste. We hope you enjoyed this Chitti Media content. Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.